Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame show. Hawks lose 2-1 in overtime to the Winnipeg Jets.
Punch in the gut.
What a kick in the nads.
Yeah.
You got one? Punch in the gut, kick in the nads.
Slap to the face.
There you go.
Law?
Why are you doing this to me? I don't know. It just hurts a lot.
Kick in the shin.
Slap to the
Yes.
tits.
Oof.
There we go. Now everyone's involved.
Thank you.
See? That's how we do it
Thanks for
here.
helping.
Thanks for
All right.
joining us,
Yeah.
everybody. We appreciate it. I'm Jay Zawoski. That's Greg Boyson. That's Mario Tirabassi. Over there is Lawrence, running the show as always. Boy, that was a really entertaining hockey game. It was a very encouraging hockey game from the Blackhawks standpoint. And boy, it just sucks that it ended the way it ended. We were just talking before the countdown began how different this would feel had the Hawks come out on top in this one.
Yeah, I mean, you're just over a minute away from a 1-0 shutout performance from Arvid Soderblom. I mean, who would have expected that coming into this game? And you know, that's a really good Winnipeg Jets team, obviously, as the the way that they pushed it at the end showed you. But look, this was a Blackhawks team that had a rough start to Tuesday night. They picked it up in periods 2 and 3, but they were fighting uphill. They had a good start tonight,
Yeah.
and then they built off of it, and they had they built up the momentum. They were sticking with the Jets for the most part of the game, and then that fourth line of Maroon and Donato and Andres Anastasio had a really solid effort tonight. They get the goal from Donato to break the scoreless tie, and you're packing the bus and just like trying to hold the 1-0 lead at the end of the period or at the end of the game, you can only play that way for so long, and I think they were doing it for probably like the last 8 minutes of the game.
No, you felt it coming.
Yeah, so it was gonna be rough to try and like ride that storm out, and then go to overtime, and Philip Kurashev gets beat, and Mark Scheifele gets the winner. But man, like, it sucks that they couldn't get the two. It was a 2-point effort tonight. Aside
100%.
from the loss, that was a 2-point effort. Should have got rewarded for it, and like, it sucks to lose. I hate that feeling, but that was you put that effort in most nights, you're gonna come away with a positive result.
Well, I know a lot of people didn't get a chance to watch the game tonight, so we're going to give you a little scoring recap here. The scoring began in the second period with Ryan Donato scoring on the short side. Pat Maroon puts a nice pass right off the boards in the defensive zone, right on the stick to Donato. He streaks down and scores short side. Then we got all the way to 18 minutes and 56 seconds into the third period. Mark Scheifele sort of falling down, pokes a loose puck, maybe the only bad rebound Soderblom gave up the entire game.
Yeah.
Just very, very lucky, slides under the pads. And then in overtime, they set a really nice play. The Jets do. 3 all-star players out there, Kyle Connor, Josh Morrissey, and Mark Scheifele.
Yeah.
They make a little cycle play. Philip Kurashev gets kind of indirectly picked, falls behind Scheifele, and Scheifele's there alone, and they win the overtime coin toss. So
just how they drew that play up on the whiteboard.
yeah,
Oh,
it was
sure.
perfectly executed.
Kurashev, not a lot of awareness on that play, and fell for it. And next thing you know, he's 2 steps behind.
Yeah.
And that the game tying goal was just one of those where you're like, the first rebound, Arvid kicks back to the middle of the ice. Of course, there's Scheifele on his knees.
And it took a
bounce
an
over
extra
Jones'
effort.
stick, and then he's lunging at it. It's a great play by Scheifele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a lot of talk about Anze Kopitar being this ageless wonder, which he is. Mark Scheifele's in that category.
Yeah.
Mark Scheifele's almost 32, and he's got 3 goals in
Right
2
in my
games.
back. Oh, he's 32, ageless.
Old for a hockey player.
No, yeah, for sure.
And he's, he had 40 goals just a couple of seasons ago. Like this, and he's better be an ageless wonder because he's got what, 6 more years on that contract with
7.
the Jets.
Didn't they just signed him last year.
So, this one stinks, but this is one of those games where this reminded me a lot of 2 years ago, where it was like they're right there, but in the end, the talent gap wins out, and the Jets are the better team.
Mm-hmm.
They've got more talent. You got to score more than 1 goal.
Yep.
You had a chance. You were up 1-0.
A lot of good chances.
You got to get an insurance. You got to find a way to get an insurance goal. In the second half of that third period, they never had the puck.
Yeah,
They were just like, hey, we're just trying to hold. They're playing prevent defense.
Yeah.
And prevent, what does that do? It prevents you from winning. And that's
yes.
exactly what happened. They had a shot with the empty net, but Mikheyev got caught along the boards. You get a point. It's another moral victory, but this is a game you could build off of. They built off of the second and third period from Tuesday night, and we said we want them to see that carry over, and it did. They were much better to start.
This was a 58.5-minute effort. You can hang your hat on.
Yeah, and it just
I mean,
58-56.
But even in the goal they surrendered, it's just it's a bounce comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Scheifele gets a stick on it. I mean, it wasn't even really a shot so much as a shove.
That's the difference between the good teams and the not so good teams.
Yeah,
the good teams get those breaks and take advantage of it, and then the Blackhawks, you get Pat Maroon, who everybody wanted to bench earlier today.
Yep.
Make a great pass to spring Andreas Athanasiou on a breakaway, but we all know how Andreas Athanasiou breakaway. We all jumped up here.
He had 3 of those.
And we were like, oh my God, breakaway. And then halfway through, I was like, shit, that's 89. And I knew it wasn't going to be a goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talked about in the pregame. Is just like you get him into the lineup and he's got speed and he can create those opportunities because of that speed. But his resume is that he will not finish those chances. He can create them, but he can't finish them. The perfect breakaway for Andreas Athanasiou is a 2-on-1 or a 2-on-0 where he can bust in with speed and then give it to somebody else who can finish it. Yep.
All right, we got the 3 stars of the game to tell you about. The third star, Connor Hellebuck, gave up 1 goal in the game. Arvid Soderblom gave up 2, a .943 save percentage for Soderblom, and Mark Scheifele with 2 goals, including the overtime game winner. The only 2 goals of the game for the Jets, so obviously he scores the game winner. So here are your 4-star nominees in this one. Pat Maroon, who Greg just mentioned, had the great assist for Ryan Donato and also set up Athanasiou on a nice chance and just was an effective player all around. For a big guy, really good hands, knows where to be. He's not fast. He's not a sniper, but he makes the right play, and he's got solid hands, and that's what's kept him in important roles in this league at this point in his career. Mm-hmm. Ryan Donato, who scored the goal, is another nominee. Alec Martinez, who I liked tonight, very calm with the puck. When chaos was happening, Alec Martinez would calmly take control of the situation, get the puck out of danger, and, again, a guy who was willing to put pucks on net as well. And we're going to throw a 4th nominee in there as well. Ilya Mikheyev with a couple nice plays, a really strong defensive game. We saw his speed in this one on display at both ends of the ice. A really nice back check from him earlier in the game where he came back and broke up a scoring chance. Look, we were talking about it during the game, and you're seeing this team, everyone's playing really hard because it's been proven and they know that there's someone knocking on the door to take their job. Mm-hmm. And they saw it. Craig Smith was benched for this game because he wasn't quite good enough during the Utah game, and now he's out. Athanasiou's in. We saw Athanasiou with a great back check in this game. He had right after he had the chance to score, didn't score, hustled back, and prevented a great scoring chance. That's the benefit of having a little bit of NHL depth here, is guys know they have to play hard to keep their jobs and not just coast. And when they play hard, they can hang. This is a team that, 2 nights ago, beat the Edmonton Oilers 6-0.
Yeah. They got 6 goals on 20 shots against the Oilers.
Yeah.
I needed
Pretty
35 to finally get one past the mighty Arvid Soderblom.
That's right.
I want to go through a few stats here from Natural Hat Trick. At all strengths in tonight's game, Blackhawks had an expected goals for rate of 3.37 to 2.93 for the Jets. They also had, going into overtime, 31 scoring chances against, 26 scoring chances for at all strengths. Like, not too bad, especially for a team that, is going to be on paper, the better team than you with Winnipeg. Pat Maroon at all strengths led all players with a .64 individual expected goals rate. And Nick Foligno and Philip Kurashev at all strengths had 6 individual chances created, and Kurashev led the team with 5 individual scoring chances created at all strengths. So a couple of the guys had, really strong efforts. And yeah, like with Maroon, like, that is a guy that we were talking about during the game. Like, there's a reason that he played a prominent role with 3 Stanley Cup winning teams. Like, it's not that he's here as some schlub that's just going to be like a team mascot or something like that. Like, he's out there to be effective and to play a role that this team, didn't really have a lot of before, prior to July 1st. A guy who's going to go in there and who can play physical, play a net front, physical presence, and be someone who is on the ice and can be a bit of an intimidating presence for the opponent. That's not a detriment to the team. Like, going out last year, and you'd say, like, the guy who did that the most last season was Jared Tenorti. But they weren't better for having him on the ice. With Pat Maroon out there, he can go out and be able to play that role. And also, look at, some of the plays he made tonight. He's got great hands for being a big guy. So it's good to see that, you don't have to, compare to last year, it's not everything is going to have to happen because Connor Bedard makes it happen. There's other guys that can do it on this team.
Yeah. And look, I know we're looking at 2 games and we're looking at 3 goals scored in 2 games, and that's disappointing. And we all saw Norm McIver at the end of every shift say, where are the goals coming from? Let's not forget, this is a Vezina winning goaltender, in that he made a couple unbelievable saves.
The glove save on Nick Foligno,
yeah.
like, most goalies that's beating.
Yeah. And just because this game was better than the last one, it still doesn't mean this team has fully realized their potential and haven't, figured out all their chemistry yet. Look, this team is going to struggle to score. That's going to happen. They don't have a lot of guys that are proven scorers. We did a little experiment like the week before the season, trying to add up like what each line would contribute, and it was still like a bottom 5 goal scoring offense. So that's going to be a situation to watch all year. Again, a lot of the guys that are on this roster now, your Joey Andersons, your Maroons, those guys are not going to really be around when this team is ready to contend.
No.
And, Frank Nazar, if he starts lighting it up in Rockford, is a phone call away. Trades can be made. There's things that can be done to remedy this. Maybe Lucas Reichel gets in, finds his game a little bit. But I think instead of looking at they've only scored 3 goals in 2 games, look at how the games look. I was thinking about this as the game was winding down. Like, I would say last year, it was just my feeling was it's a matter of time until they lose this game. Mm-hmm. Like, it feels inevitable. And even though they did end up losing this game and getting the game tied, it didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like the inevitable was coming throughout this one because, they laid back, which I didn't love. They were preventing a little bit, which I didn't love. But at the same time, like, it was never a complete fire drill out there. Winnipeg was coming at them hard. Yeah. They were really on the offensive, but the Hawks, they weren't scrambling. They were staying in their spots. They were getting the puck as best they could. They sort of withstood the storm as long as they could and fell behind. I just, I don't know. It's coming out of this game, it sucks they lost. But I don't know how you can have watched those 60 minutes plus and come away feeling bad about that. That's a good team, a playoff team in their home opener, and you gave them everything they can handle until the last second.
Yeah, I think you built upon the effort that you finished the Utah game with, and with a team that needs a lot of time to still figure each other out, as we talked about Tuesday night, as we talked about in the pregame. That seems to be building. Like that, this game felt more like a team that has played with each other before, that has been able to kind of figure a little bit out about their teammates. So hopefully this is a good effort. Hopefully they didn't empty the tank in this back-to-back to try and squeeze this one out, and they continue to build against the Oilers. Like, that's another tough assignment on night 2 of a back-to-back. So hopefully they can continue to build that and get some early season positivity and come away with a good result.
All right, Mario is going to tell you about Factor here in a minute, but first we want you to hit that like button. We've not asked for that yet. We would really appreciate it if you did us that favor. We got over 350 people watching and only 113 people liking. That's not right. That's not good math. Just hover over that little like button, give it a click. It takes you 2 seconds, and it really helps us out. And while you're over there, slide over and hit that subscribe button for us. We'd really appreciate that. Lots more to come here on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
Yes, and if you feel like you need to eat your feelings after tonight's game,
always,
it's okay. You can do it with a Factor meal kit. Better days are ahead, and you can fuel up with them with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. You can meet your wellness goals in time for any season, thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes, so no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. So make today the day that you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore, and you can make any part of your day delicious from breakfast to dessert. You can stay fueled with easy, nutritious meals and keep kitchen time to a minimum, because Factor meals are ready in just 2 minutes. No shopping, no prepping, no cooking, and no cleaning up. So you can head to factormeals.com/CHGOHawks50. Use the code CHGOHawks50 and get 50% off of your first box plus 20% off of your next month. That's code CHGOHawks50 at factormeals.com/CHGOHawks50 to get 50% off of your first box and 20% off of your next month while your subscription is active. CHGO Hawks 50.
50?
50.
Okay.
I see a theme here. 50.
So 40% off. That's a pretty good deal.
50.
And when you're saving on your Factor meals, why not celebrate and chill with a delicious, ice-cold, crispy Coors Light? Oh, my goodness.
Crispy. Cool.
Can't wait to get home and crack one of those open. I've got it in the basement fridge right now, so those mountains are so blue, they're almost purple. I got that fridge like almost at freezer level.
Basement fridge is always colder than the upstairs.
Get it about
fridge.
as cold because it doesn't open as much. See, that's the secret.
And it's in the basement. It's cooler.
That's
in the
right.
basement.
Absolutely. And boy, those mountains are going to be blue. And when they are, you know your Coors Light is as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. So when you embrace a chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Make the most out of the times that you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door right damn now with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Go do that. Go order that. Go do those
Some
things.
people in the chat need to choose chill.
Yeah, this is going to be a long season for some of you folks.
Yeah.
That
That was a very solid game in my eyes.
Yes, it was.
And
It
people
was
are
a
just
disappointing finish to an overall good game.
Wanna knock out
Yes,
these-
you want some more scoring.
Yeah.
You want a little more offensive firepower, but you're also facing Connor Hellebuck, one of the best goaltenders on the planet. But yes, you want a little bit more offense there, but there's overall not a ton to be angry about.
No,
like,
it's if you're angry about this, you're weird. I'm sorry. Like, let's get these super chats in here real quick too before I forget. $2 from Dead Hawk, 4 stars Maroon, Soda, and Hockey NATO. And Ralph J says 0 offense with someone like Bedard on the team. If this is going to be the new thing, where if Connor Bedard doesn't end up with 3 points every night, is this the new Blackhawks land hot take? Is Connor Bedard is actually bad? Because let's not do this. Let's not. Come on.
Yeah,
the kid's 18 years old. He's basically your only real legitimate offensive threat that the other team has to really worry about. You've got some guys like Tavo and Hall and Bertuzzi that can put the puck in the net when the opportunity is given. Bedard is the only one that opponents are like, we have to worry about that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing this. Bedard, because we were seeing it in the pregame show too. This Bedard is floating. Bedard's a non-factor. Like, he's a factor just by being on the ice.
Yeah. Look, like Connor Bedard is a lot of people have coming into the season said, oh, he can hit 100 points this year, and he may as well still do that. Who knows? Got 80 more games to figure it out. But he's going to be a guy that teams are going to focus on, and some teams might have the same game plan as they did last year, as like, let's shut down Bedard and roll the dice that anybody else is going to beat us tonight. And some nights it might work out in their favor and say, yeah, we shut down Bedard and no one else had anything to do. But there might be other nights where a team focuses on Bedard and Taylor Hall goes off for 3 points, or Philip Kurashev has a 2-goal night, or there's other guys that will be able to up the production level this season. And Bedard is a guy that's still less than, even though he played all last season in the NHL, he is still less than a full season's game's worth of experience into his NHL career. This was game 70 of his NHL career.
Mm-hmm.
So there is still some learning that he'll have to go through, and some things that he'll have to adjust in his game. Like, I think I'm not worried about his offensive productivity. I'm not worried about the effect he can have on a game, whether he's putting in 3 goals or if he's used as a decoy. Think about in the history of sports, how many all-time great athletes have had games where they were used as decoys. Like, it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
There were games where Michael Jordan didn't score 50 points and the Bulls won. There was a very significant game in Chicago sports history where Walter Payton didn't score a touchdown and good things happened.
He scored 46 points somehow.
Yeah. So it's Bedard being on the ice is going to change the way a team plays. And it'll be effective sometimes in shutting him down, but it opens the door for other people on this team to be able to up the production level, which last year wasn't the case.
Yeah, look, we're not saying don't be frustrated that they lost. Like, we're frustrated they lost too, but to be upset about the performance and be angry about Connor Bedard and that's just like, let's try to breathe.
I'm with Dead Hawk. He says we need 2 chats. One for complaining and one for people who want to enjoy spending a couple hours.
Yeah, I mean,
I
was pissed when they gave up the goal. I was like almost throwing my laptop down.
Like, we were coming in, the final few minutes, we wanted to see a win. Like, this is what these kinds of games are what we're looking forward to this season. Games where you're in it against teams that you didn't have a chance against last year. Like Winnipeg, and we'll see what happens tomorrow night. This coming in from Mark Lazarus says the general vibe from the Blackhawks after this one is that the era of moral victories is over. And a quote from Seth Jones says, we played 59 great minutes, but that's not going to be good enough. Like, that's the sentiment you want to have from this group, that this group is coming in not saying, oh, well, we played good for a little bit, but that's really all we could do. They have the expectation that they can put in a full 60 minutes, and they were almost there tonight, but this is a group that says almost isn't good enough. So I'll take that away as a positive.
Just
coming into tomorrow,
Go ahead.
they'll probably play with a little bit of an edge.
There's some people in the chat mentioning Shorzy, and Deadhawk says we need the gyms. Guess what? We will have one of the gyms on Monday's show. Jordan Nolan is going to join us from Shorzy.
Cool.
He'll be on the show on Monday. So if you're a Shorzy fan or a Letterkenny fan, stick around and for Monday's show,
Sweet.
we talk to Jordan Nolan.
Yeah.
Jim. Gyms are such beauties.
I'm gonna have to spend Sunday watching.
I don't know how
Shorzy.
you haven't watched it yet. It's very
I
strange.
don't
to me.
have
Remember,
time.
he doesn't like to watch things that are like people like.
that people
like.
recommend.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. I also like to watch shows when they're done, so I can watch the whole entire series in like a week.
Shorzy is never over.
But no, I haven't got into that because that requires time. I don't have a lot of that.
I mean, we just spent all summer without hockey.
I do things, Lawrence. I don't just sit at the house. I use my summer to actually go out and do things because I got 9 months where I can't do shit.
It's got a point. That's true. That's true. I will say, if I do want to have if we want to pick nit during this show, didn't love Tavo's overtime choice
No,
to
that
just
was pretty lame.
to just punt, basically.
That's pretty lame. Just like here, like you could have done something to be a little more creative or maybe just kind of set it up again, but you just kind of you just said it was like a punt. Just gave up and said, all right, I'm ready to get off the ice. Here you go, Connor. Freeze that, and then we're going to line change. So, yeah, it's I mean, I know the expectations are higher this year. You bring in, you have the summer you have where you bring in, real guys, NHL guys. So I know the expectations are higher, but we were getting mad game one because the first period was terrible.
Yeah, that looked like ass the first game.
And then the second and third periods were so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all sat here and said, I want them to carry that over into this game. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
So this team is like, it could be a lot worse as if they never responded after the first period, lost 5-0 tonight, and aren't like, you already see them making adjustments. You already see them like, and those post-game comments are what you want to hear. Like, they're not saying, well, hey, we took a playoff team to overtime, we'll take that point. No, they're like, we needed to play one more minute to win that game.
Right.
So, and it's your leadership that's saying those things. So, like, everybody on the planet is going to say they're going to get smoked tomorrow by the Oilers. The Oilers lost 6-0 to this Jets team.
Yeah.
It's their home opener. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's not a great assignment, but if the Hawks are as angry as our chat is, or not the entire chat, but some of the members of the chat, if the Hawks are that angry about losing, they should beat the Oilers 10-0 tomorrow.
I hope so.
That'd be nice.
And, Deadhawk brings up a good point and says, just think of how we felt during the preseason. Do you feel better now or worse? I mean, good point, but how about just the difference between this game and the first period in Utah?
Mm-hmm.
It's two completely different teams. I mean, yes, would I like to see more pucks in the back of the net? Absolutely. But what I liked about this game was they were putting the puck on net. They missed a few really good looks, just shot it high, shot it wide, and that's going to happen during the course of the game, of course. But, like, they were not holding back on putting shots on net. They're finally getting the message from Luke Richardson to shoot the puck. Look for rebounds. Look for redirects. I mean, you look at the goals scored in this game. The Donato one was kind of a snipe, but Scheifele's just falls down and hits it, and it goes in. And the overtime one is a beautiful setup. Like, that's how goals are scored in this league.
As we were talking during the game, when the Hawks had about 4 or 5 shots in a row that missed the net, I had said, they're doing what Luke said. Luke wants them to shoot. He never said shoot it on net. He just said shoot the puck.
Baby
so he's got
steps.
them shooting first.
More specific.
And now they'll work on the actual aim of the shot. But they're doing it like he's got them in a mentality to shoot more. And that's what you need, especially those defensemen. According to Natural Stat Trick, I should refresh this because it's still got a minute to go in third. 47 shot attempts for the Hawks tonight, 60 for the Jets, and a lot of that came in that third period for the Jets.
That's just at 5-on-5.
Yeah, just that 5-on-5. Jets 26 of their 65-on-5 shot attempts came in the third period, and probably 21 of those came in the last 9 minutes of the game.
Right,
yeah. But the Hawks were with them for the majority of the game, and then a couple bad bounces. But you do want to score more than one goal. You have to score more than one goal. You can't rely on a 1-0 shutout in this league every night. It just doesn't work. So tomorrow night, you're going to be playing against Edmonton, and that's a team that has some leaky defense, has a goalie that can either be really good or woof.
Yep.
So I want to see, Blackhawks, your assignment. I know you're listening as you're getting on the plane. Your assignment tomorrow: score more than one damn goal.
That's, again, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. All right. When we come back, we are going to hear from Seth Jones. We're going to hear from Luke Richardson. We got some more super chats to get to. People want us to talk about Joey Anderson. I guess is he the enemy?
It's not
tonight?
people. It's one person.
Okay. We'll talk about Joey Anderson, I guess, and a whole lot more.
I think Joey Anderson made a pass at Jim's girlfriend once, and he's mad.
Okay. Oh, understandable. He's a handsome man. All right, that's coming up next on CHGO Blackhawks.
Speaking of passes, did that pass by Patrick Maroon make it move?
Yes.
Did it get you excited? Were you aroused? Do you want to keep that feeling of arousement longer than 30 seconds?
Arousement.
Well, then
that's the term's arousal.
Whatever.
Arousement.
It's my read. I can say whatever I do.
Amusement, arousal, arousement.
I don't interrupt you guys. Shut up and let me get through this. That's what she said. Does Blue Chew work? If you're asking that question, we want you to know that Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is by giving you a month for free. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. That's why it's called Blue Chew and not Blue Swallow. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed providers, and you're going to be, once you're approved, you're going to get your prescription within days. Best part is it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises.
All right.
Hey, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And we've got a special deal for all of our listeners. You can try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code ALLCITY at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code ALLCITY to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Man, a month's worth of Blue Chew? It's like half a pill. Hey, get ready for the winter season ahead with quality shades built to last. You don't want to go snowblind. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. They have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all of your outdoor adventures. We rock our Shady Rays all the time. Greg, I think, is permanently attached to his Shady Rays. They are outstanding in every pair, no matter what happens. If an errant Philip Kurashev shot flies over the net and hits you in the face, breaks your Shady Rays, they'll take care of it. Every pair is backed by their lost or stolen replacement policy. And if you don't love them, just exchange them for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. And exclusively for our listeners, our friends at Shady Rays are giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com. Use that code CHGO for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 billion people.
All right, we got a super chat from Brother Seamus.
Brother Seamus is
asking,
new to the program.
Brother Seamus, that reminds me of Big Lebowski. I'm one of you, like a Brother Seamus. Anyway,
2 from him.
Yes. All right.
4 combined dollars.
2 chats. Wow.
First one, your boy Bedard needs to do. He's our boy. He's all of ours.
He's
boys.
a point per game player right now.
Yes.
Next,
He's our boy.
2 points in 2. Yeah.
There's
when he
my
does
boy.
something good, he's your boy. And then
let's remember he's our boy when he goes into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that on the plaque. The three of us are little cartoon heads on the bottom of Connor Bedard's plaque because he's our boy only when he has a subpar game.
And why do you guys do the whoa when mentioning Joey Anderson?
We never did that bits.
No,
we didn't.
There's a lot of things. We have a lot of great ideas. We never follow up.
It's true.
Next off,
it's an ode to the 90s. Look up some shows. The show is called Blossom. Joey Lawrence did that famous whoa. So yeah, just because his name is Joey, we're immature around here.
Yes,
and we're proud of it.
Mostly.
So yes.
I mean, look, we've been covering this team for parts of 4 seasons now. We need to make ourselves laugh a little bit here and there.
Oh yeah, that's why we did it.
It's been rough. It's been rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have those are all the super chats? We got them all right. All right. Seth Jones and Luke Richardson coming soon. I want to say this is our first soiree into the full CHSN broadcast, like pregame, intermission, postgame.
Yes.
Chris Kunitz is a name I hadn't considered as a studio analyst. For those that don't know, he's one of the Hawks developmental coaches.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the ice with the team every day.
Yeah.
That's a really nice ad. I want him to talk a little more. It is a talking medium. But I hope he gets comfortable, and that's a really nice hire.
He did okay with it, but I mean, the fact that was like kind of like the first time we were like, oh, Chris Kunitz is doing this, makes me feel like they might be like trying it out.
Yeah.
So I think he did okay. Yeah, I mean the score bug was different than it was in the preseason.
Yep.
So we saw something different there.
They didn't give us a penalty time the first time, and then Darren Panger.
As soon as Greg complained,
to us, it happened.
Yeah.
which is bad actually, because I complained to us and something got done, which means people are going to still complaining to us.
Yeah.
But our guy Panger ran down to the production truck and said, "Hey,
he figured it out.
You get a clock on there," and then they gave us the world's biggest power play clock,
a Bluetooth clock.
Yeah, they've got some kinks to still work out, but they'll just like anything. I mean, I'm sure if you go back and listen to our first couple of post-game shows, those are not very good.
They sucked.
Yeah, not that these are that much better.
Compared to these, they're less bad.
But, yeah, the audio was weird. I don't think Pat Boyle's microphone was on all night.
A little echoey in the studio, but I mean, yeah, this was
I like that crew.
Their first full-on broadcast.
Rick Ball's great, by the way.
Oh, Rick Ball is fantastic.
Someone asked too in the chat, does he sound like John Weideman? I do think he sounds like John Weideman.
He sounds like a younger John Weideman.
It'll probably
same cadence.
start to not sound the same as we get more used to him. But my first thought when hearing him was, "Oh, John's on the call." Oh,
yeah,
no, that's Rick Ball. Really good. I mean, it just sounds like hockey. The guy's a pro.
Rick Ball is good stuff and a good dude too.
Yeah, great guy.
We had him on the show over the summer, but he's a guy that is always at practice.
Yeah.
In the room talking to guys. Just always present. He was even in Utah, even though he wasn't working that night. He was still there.
Yeah,
so
just hanging out. Definitely.
Great addition by the team, bringing him in to do play-by-play, and hopefully he's going to have some really good games to call here for the long run. Hopefully.
Yeah. It should be encouraging to folks that they got the feedback about the score bug and fixed it.
Yeah.
They changed it to something a little more accessible.
Everyone didn't like it, so they changed it.
And I'm sure they'll tweak as they go.
It shows they read your tweets when you complain to the right people.
And sort of surprisingly, the game, if you do have Xfinity, even though no deal has been cut between CHSN and Xfinity yet, the game was on Xfinity because there's a free trial of center ice.
Right. Yeah. So keep that in mind tomorrow.
Might be the case tomorrow as well.
It will, but that preview goes, I believe, for the first week of the season.
It should.
So
awesome.
If you have Xfinity tomorrow, and it won't be on at this point because they said they need 24 hours to get it up. So if you have, speaking of Bluetooth, it's late night. It's all right. So if you have Xfinity tomorrow, I believe, what was it, 3027, channel 3027?
Or 3070, something like that.
But you'll be able to see the center ice non-blacked out version of tomorrow night's game. So that's a good news. If you think you're not going to be able to watch tomorrow's game on Xfinity, you should be able to.
3072.
3072.
Yes,
I had the right numbers, wrong order.
Yes. All right, we got a $5 super chat I want to hit before we hear from Seth Jones.
Ed Belfort, Alex Vlasic.
Who had the super chat here, Law?
From
That is from Michael Evans. He says, the big problem with the Hawks was not starting out the game great at all. Got to say that changed tonight, regardless of outcome. Solid effort. Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Michael.
I mean, they had a decent first period.
I think that's what he said. I think he was saying that the big problem last year was that they didn't start.
Or in Utah as well.
Yeah, right, and in Utah. But much better start in this one for sure. All right, we ready for Seth Jones?
And we also have those dots if you wanted to do that tonight, but we don't have to.
Dots?
But yes.
Oh, the goal replay?
Yeah.
Let's try it out. Let's see how it looks.
Let's hear what that looks like?
Let's hear from Seth Jones first.
Okay, here comes Seth Jones.
Yeah, I thought we played 59 great minutes and they got 6-on-5 on us, and it's not going to be good enough for us. We expect to play a 60-minute game, and that's what it's going to take for us to win.
Can you take positives out of that, or are you tired of taking positives out of games?
We're tired of taking moral victories at this point. We need to win hockey games, and I thought we played an excellent game. We were turnover-free in the neutral zone for the most part. Everyone was chipping in the way we needed to play. And against Winnipeg, they're a pretty good defensive team, so it's going to be a tight game like that regardless. And I thought we hung in there for, like I said, 59 minutes and then lost coverage in OT.
You got to feel it for
Stood on his head all night and made big saves. They were around the net a lot at times during this night, and everything was hitting them, which was great to see.
What were you doing defensively that was kind of stifling them, particularly in the middle between the decks?
Well, we're just playing a little bit more structure than neutral zone. We're not diving in. We're not on our own page. We're playing 5 together, and we're playing a 1-2-2. So we're trying to push pucks into us and be patient and force turnovers. And I thought we did a pretty good job of forcing them. Even when they do dump it in, they don't have a lot of speed. It goes to RV, and we can break it out pretty clean.
That was the most structured you guys have looked in some
Since
time.
I've been here,
is that what you're supposed to look like? Is that what this team is trying to be?
I think every team's got a style that they can play to win, and so I think we've kind of, it's obviously 2 games into the season, but we've, maybe found something in our game that we want to stick with and get better at. We have a lot of work to do, but it's good to see that everyone's buying into one system.
Would it have been easier, I guess, to stick with it if you had a win to show for it?
We're going to stick with it regardless. I mean, it's like I said, we played 59 great minutes of hockey playing that way, and they're throwing everything to the net 6-on-5, and they just got a little rebound there and put it in.
You guys had one opportunity with the power play. Even after some tweaks, it didn't seem like it was.
We just got to move the puck quicker in zone. They're pressuring us. They're big, strong guys. We got to move the puck around, get some shots to the net, and then once they're tired in zone, we can start making the little cute plays. But we need to be more direct.
That PK was about as good as it could be, especially that first one.
Ours?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. Good pressure.
That was more aggressive than we've seen maybe in the past. Is that kind of
we've always had our aggressive cues. I mean, when they bobble pucks, when their backs facing to us, when they don't have full possession, we always want to go off face-offs, little things like that. Especially against good players, we don't want to give them time and space. So, but I thought it was excellent. Up ice pressure was good from the forwards, just not making it easy for them.
I like that little note in the middle. The most structure we've played with since I've been here. That's something.
True.
Seth Jones is always going to be honest with you.
Yes.
You can.
Good. I like that.
No matter what you say, what you feel about how he plays on the ice, he's always going to be honest with you.
Yep. It's good to see. He's right though. While we're not flipping over tables and screaming and kicking things over this game, it feels like a missed opportunity for 2 points. And while, no one is realistically predicting the Hawks should be in the playoffs, we have talked about realistically this team being in the hunt for a playoff spot until Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And that extra point tonight would have been nice, not only from the standpoint of the standings, but from the standpoint of we earned this win.
Mm-hmm.
This was a team win. We played our asses off. We had every excuse, to not win this game. Home opener, Connor Hellebuck, they're better than us. They just beat Edmonton 6-0.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go into the game with that attitude. They didn't finish the game with that attitude. And you'd like to see them rewarded a little bit. And I feel like a little bit too with the Utah game, 4 posts. Like, it was just, they are due a little bit of puck luck here at some point too.
Well, let's get it
You'd
tomorrow
hope, yeah.
against Edmonton.
Yeah.
Edmonton's a team that, that's going to be their home opener, so that building will be electric, especially after the way that season played out last year. But they're a team that's got you want to talk about a pressure situation. I mean, they got killed their first game by the Jets, and you think our chat can get crazy. Look at some of those Oilers threads. Like, people are already saying the season's over because of one game. So there's some pressure there. Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Go out, play loose, do what you play. If they play like they played tonight and can get more than one goal,
That would be good.
they got a chance to win tomorrow night. It's
Stuart Skinner is not Connor Hellebuck.
no, he is not. And the Oilers do not play defense like the Jets did, and then the Hawks were able to solve that defensive structure for large chunks of the time tonight. So get ready to skate up and down the ice. I really don't know, what kind of lineup changes you make other than Peter Mrazek in. You kind of.
That seems like that'd be the only
Yeah, I
change.
mean,
it ain't broke.
They're really,
And I mean, Brody we didn't have it mentioned him at all yet. I was ready to buy him out. I'm still kind of am, but I was ready to buy him out after the first game. He had a much better game today.
Alex
Yes.
Martinez was one of our 4-star. And we haven't talked about him yet, but a shout out to Wyatt Kaiser. Solid.
Yeah.
Didn't see him, didn't
Good.
stand out, but that's a good
Yeah.
thing. Wyatt Kaiser, a few times I did notice him, he was making the correct play with the puck. A couple times under pressure. He led the team with 4 blocked shots.
Nice.
Young Mr. Kaiser did. So for a guy that essentially missed all of training camp and to step in with 2 days of practice,
It's good.
is an impressive game for him. So yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, do you try and put yeah, I was right. Oilers, that game was at home, but whatever. It's still
Yeah. They already played a home game. but
do you
whatever.
put Lucas Reichel in? I'm just used to every road game being some sort of
Yeah,
ceremony for
right.
the Blackhawks. Do you try and put Lucas Reichel's speed in there tomorrow? But who do you take out? You don't take out. Well, we know who's maybe Joey Anderson. He's the enemy tonight. But you don't. You're not going to take out
Funny
Pat
every
Maroon.
time.
Pat Maroon played great.
No.
That line, I'm not touching that 4th line right now. That was
that
your
worked.
best line of the night.
That worked.
Look,
tonight.
I might be. I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of Joey Anderson. I just think that he is such a dime a dozen player that, yes, if you want to get Reichel in, take Anderson out, add some speed, fine.
Yeah, that would be the move I would make if you're going to put Reichel in.
That changes that 3rd line though, because Reichel's not defensively what Joey Anderson should be. So
So in this game, the question is, and I think Lucas probably asking himself this too, what do we need to prioritize? Do we need to have speed or do we need to have defense?
I think you need speed.
I mean,
Well, you're not going to win a shootout with them.
Yeah, you're not gonna win a shootout. So if you want to try and shut them down, also difficult to do. So it's what would you feel more confident the Blackhawks can do?
Sumo goalie.
play structurally like they did tonight, and try and be effective against the Oilers, and hope that some of the chances you created tonight, you get those opportunities again and you actually bury them this time, or it opens up a little bit more because you put Reichel in there. You say, hey, go create some offense. Maybe give up a little bit defensively, but maybe you take advantage of trying to counterpunch the speed of the Oilers.
You're going to need to score at least 3 goals, maybe 4, to beat the Oilers. Have a chance.
And I wish putting Lucas Reichel into the lineup meant, yeah, that offense is going to jumpstart itself. Like,
Oh, yeah. If that was the case, he wouldn't be out of the lineup.
exactly. So I don't know. I think it's
Tough.
if you want to do it, fine. Do it in game 3. I'm not going to hate it, but I like collectively what this group did tonight. I would be completely content with them running this same lineup just with Mrazek and net and trying it again.
I think that's, as we're talking this out, I think that's the way I go too, because if you're talking about a meritocracy and a consequence-based coaching method, where if you don't play well, you're not going to play. Well, guess what? If they do play well, they should play.
Yeah.
And no one's really done anything to have themselves removed from the lineup. I think you go back with the same guys again that you had tonight and see what happens. I mean,
here's a thought, though.
I don't know.
If they do want to get Reichel in, you don't want to sacrifice too much defense. You take Anderson out. This is weird, but maybe you put Foligno back with Mikheyev and Dickinson. There's your defensive stalwart line to be out there against McDavid,
So
and you
Reichel.
put
You're gonna
Reichel
put
with
Reichel.
Bedard and Tavo. I mean, if he can't get anything done on that line, what's he going to do?
Well, that line will not be out there against McDavid or Draisaitl. We know that.
No.
Well, Edmonton gets second change,
Yeah.
so they might be, but
Maybe, but
No, but
then you have your line that you're going to try and match up against the Edmonton line.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
I don't want to take Pat Maroon out, but do you just say back-to-back nights, speed game?
No, I wouldn't be 100% against that either.
He was just so good today.
He was.
It's not like the Jets are slow.
Yeah, if I'm Luke Richardson, I don't go to Pat.
mess
I
up
don't
that
go to
line.
Pat Maroon on the flight to Edmonton and say, "Hey, you're taking a seat tomorrow." Like,
Especially against one of his former
No.
teams.
Yeah,
You might
I
wanna
don't
figure
think
I
out
mean,
that
well,
would-
that's pretty much everybody.
I don't think that would be.
first time this year.
I wouldn't make that move. No, I feel like this lineup put in a good effort, as we've said, as Seth said, for 59 minutes. I saw enough tonight that I would say, yeah, go with it again. See what works. I know we're still in the spot with this team of like trying to find who fits well where, what trios, duos can work well together. But I think if you have a night where the lineup works, go with it again. Part of continuity is doing things regularly.
And that usually happens, you win a game, you don't mess with it.
Yeah.
You didn't win the night, but you deserve to win. So if there are no lineup changes outside of the goalies, there's nothing to be mad at. Do you try and get Allen back in there? Maybe, one of the veteran guys sits on the first half of back in that kind of like load management early
Maybe
in
that's
the
the how
season.
Martinez sits out game.
Maybe,
I don't know. It's game
taking
3. I'm
Martinez.
not changing
Yeah,
anything.
we're picking the nits again.
Yeah.
It worked tonight for the most part.
Stick with it.
Edmonton, I just worry that Edmonton is a little bit of a different matchup, a lot more speed and dynamic players, but is it with this particular roster and how it's constructed, I don't know if one guy being in over another is going to make all that much of a difference.
Right. All right, let's hit up Luke Richardson, who spoke after the game today. Here's what the head coach had to say, courtesy of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, no, it was a good game, but we got to, it's a new page this year for us. We got to find a way to lock those down. I thought the goalie played excellent. We got to find a way to get the regulation win for him. That last minute, just somehow, a little bit tired at the end, but so are they, and they're pushing to try and score a goal. You got to find a way to stop it. I just thought, it's unfortunate. The guys had a complete, game, and the other team scored, and they're a good team. And they had their big guys on the ice at the end, and they got the goal. And when you get to overtime, unfortunately, it's usually the team that gets the first chance or the second one if you don't score on yours.
Taylor Vinen, was that a mistake taking that shot in overtime?
Yeah, I think it's probably something that he'd like back. I think I heard him talk to Connor on the bench. I don't know if he thought Connor was going to maybe dart towards the net, but it was a bit of just a wrist shot kind of that Hellebuck sees all the way. So I'm sure he'd want that one back. But if we can do things over, I'm sure he would probably do that, but you can't. So hopefully we can build off that. We don't want to be in overtime all that often. I think if we can play like tonight, I don't think we will be. But when we get there, I think we got to just learn from that, and I think we did last year at times. It's got to be a grade A chance to take that shot or just hold it.
Is that the structure? Is that what your team's supposed to look like? Is that the game you want them to play?
Absolutely. I thought we were above the other team most of the night and frustrated them, and I thought we were pretty much even on 5-on-5 chances against the other really good team. And that's what we wanted. I think we created some good chances in the O-zone, and that's probably one of the best goalies in the world. So we got to make sure we just bear down when we get them and try and get that insurance goal if we can in a game like tonight.
That'd be a tough one for Soderblom, but what did you see from him?
Yeah, no, he was excellent, especially in the third period. I thought they pressed, and he stood tall for us. So unfortunately, we didn't get him that second point. He deserved that tonight.
On the first line, it didn't seem like they produced a lot all game. Would you have liked to see a little bit more from them in terms of just creating offense?
No, I think we were patient, and at times we had some good rushers. I know Nick had that chance in the first where he was sent in alone, and Connor played a smart game, and we put pucks behind them and tried to make them make the mistakes, and unfortunately just didn't get that second goal, and they pressed and they pushed, and they had their good players, like I said, on the ice and got that tying goal, which is a little deflating, but we got to finish the game off.
You only had one power play opportunity, but it looked like the second unit had something on.
Yeah, no, I thought they moved the puck quick, got some really good shots, good looks. Sometimes you don't have to score on the power play to give a team momentum. You just have to have some chances like that to give you momentum. And I thought the special teams leaned in our favor tonight, so that was a good thing.
Maroon had the pass, the chip off the boards for Donato. He had a great setup earlier in the game. Is he bringing a little more skill than maybe some of us expected?
No, I don't think I didn't expect it. I expected it because he's a big guy with great hands around the net. He's hard to move, hard to get the puck from. So, no, I think that's why teams went and got him the last few years to win in the playoffs, because he can play in those times, especially when they're a little bit more lenient in letting teams play hockey and physical hockey. He's a guy that's perfect for that. So I pretty much you're seeing what you're seeing what you're getting, and we knew what we were getting.
You worked in the neutral zone stuff, and were you happy with how that worked?
I thought it was pretty good. There was a couple of times that you always think that maybe there's a loose puck, so someone will step forward. But I think just being a little bit patient in that area, we got pucks back, and we want the puck more. And the more we have it, the less the other team's skill guys have it. So I think it's working well, and I think the guys see it's working well. So they're buying right into that.
Luke Richardson, courtesy of the Chicago Blackhawks. We thank them for use of the post-game video and audio, as always. All right, it's time to reveal the fourth star of today's game. Lawrence, who do we got?
Well, with 50% of the votes, we got Ryan Donato.
All right, Hockey Nato. New dad bump. Playing great. Charlie Grace, the name of his daughter.
Yeah.
Love that.
Congratulations.
Big
to
fan
Donatos.
of the boy name on a girl. Sam, Alex, Charlie. Love that stuff.
Maybe she'll become Charlie the Bacon Girl.
Oh, see?
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
By the way, speaking of Charlie the Bacon Guy,
Yeah.
he did suggest earlier that he wants to do watch-alongs in the studio, and he'll bring snacks.
He
can come anytime he
I'm
wants.
not
just
gonna
come hang out,
say
dude.
no.
Yes.
As long as you bring bacon.
If you're bringing bacon, you can live in this studio for all I care.
Actually, I would hang out with Charlie without bacon, but if Charlie shows up without
Yeah.
bacon, I'll be mad.
yeah.
I like him enough to hang out with
Right.
him independent of the bacon, but bring the bacon. I mean, who are we kidding here? Come on, we'll take it.
Yes. I mean, it's literally your name.
Right. You're kind of,
Right,
it's
yeah.
an expectation.
Mr.
at
the
this
Bacon
point.
Guy.
Yeah, you've set that expectation for us, so now you have to deal with it.
Yes. Okay, and for the first time in the history of the segment, we have a tie.
I don't know if it's the first time.
And
It's
this
the first
is Who's
time
Your
this
Hawk.
season.
First time
Yeah.
this season for Who's Your Hawk.
Hawk,
Yes.
yeah. So here were the picks.
Those were the picks.
Darn.
I had
Okay.
Bedard, Mario had Jason Dickinson, and Greg had Philip Kurashev.
Yes,
So you have a
and
good point.
this was one of the worst scoring Who's Your Hawks ever. Connor Bedard finished
Lowest
with
of the
0.5, and Jason Dickinson and Philip Kurashev tied
Yeah, at
with
least they were all
1
positive.
point each. True, they were all positive.
Didn't have any negative points like in the preseason.
Right. So that's true. We see the overall standings after 2 games. I'm leading 8.5 to 6 to 2.5. So we don't, since we have a tie, we don't know who wins the chain or gets to wear the chain. So
Oh, sweet chain.
Maya and I can just hold it together since we tied tonight.
like
there
the-
it is, a tie chain.
Yeah, do
You
it.
haven't had a chance to wear it yet, have you?
No.
All right, well then you can put it on. Then. There you
Hooray.
go. You can, yeah.
Who spent the longest in traffic today? That's who wins.
All right.
You live the farthest.
Who chose to live in Wisconsin?
Yes. Deadhawk's asking, why didn't any of you choose Soda? Well, we don't have a scoring system. Goalies.
You want to choose Arvid Soderblom?
Nobody would have, even if we did have a good scoring system for goalies. I seriously doubt any of us would have picked him.
I don't think so.
Maybe his next start. But speaking of Arvid Soderblom, real quick,
awesome
good for
game.
him.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, we barely talked about it.
This could be literally this.
Game.
There's a chance this might be, his only NHL start this season. He was not expected to be in the NHL at all. They signed Laurent Brossoit. And he got hurt and baby on the way. We learned today. So it sounds like he probably will get another start or two here because it sounds like Brossoit is still at least a week or two away.
Yeah, but I mean, think about Mrazek will play tomorrow,
right?
And then the home opener,
right? There's that game in Calgary in between that.
Okay, all right. Well then, yeah.
So maybe you give they play what, Thursday and then Saturday. Maybe you give Soderblom that Saturday home game against Buffalo, the Buffaloes.
Maybe.
Maybe give him the Calgary game so you don't kill Mrazek early in the year.
Yeah,
that was part of the reason that you brought in Brossoit in the first place. If Soderblom was playing good. But that's good for him. That was exactly what he needed to start the year. And if this is his only start for the Hawks this year, hey, it's something he can build off of and go down to Rockford, who kick off their season tomorrow.
At home.
Against the Grand Rapids Griffins. If you're a diehard, you can read my top 5 storylines for the Ice Hogs heading into the season. The most important season in Ice Hogs history.
That's probably true.
It is true, 100%. As far as like big picture for the Blackhawks goes, no season has been more important than this one with the amount of recent high draft picks on that team this year.
Yeah, that should be a very fun team to watch.
All right, we want to shout out our friend Aaron at AG Design on Instagram for creating our Blackhawks swag chain for Who's Your Hawk. Check out his Instagram page at AG Design 103. He is a high schooler who's got a 3D printer, and he makes all kinds of cool stuff, including like 3D printed earrings and jewelry and all sorts of stuff. Good stuff. Plastic. Yep. 3D printer. So go check it out. AG Design 103 on Instagram. And I think he can do some custom stuff. So hit him up. Thanks, Aaron. We love you. Thanks for the swag chain. All right, let's wrap things up. We're going to be back tomorrow late night. We will do a pregame. Puck drops at 9?
Nope, no pregame.
No pregame because Bulls.
I'm doing a double dip. I got Bulls and Hawks post.
Okay. Well, we got a post game after a late night.
Not a team player.
I'm sorry.
Not a team player.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. Some of us know how to multitask, Lawrence. What's your fault?
Yeah.
Fair.
You have two computers, two shows.
Fair.
It is a 9 o'clock.
Take one of those.
9 o'clock puck drop tomorrow night.
9:05. Yikes.
Late
so we'll be on about 11:45.
That gives you time to get that Flow Sports subscription and watch the Ice Hogs before
there
the
you go.
Oilers.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's it. A double dip. All right, we'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Late night. Be there for us, please. Hey, if you haven't done it yet, we are at 199 likes.
Oh, we need one more.
Get us over the hump, baby. Come on.
Hit that button.
We're not leaving until someone hits it.
Please.
You know what? I hadn't hit it yet. There you go. 200.
I got to see it. I have to see it. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
202. Beautiful.
There we go.
Thank you all very much. We love you. Thank you for hitting the like button.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us tomorrow ahead of time. It's a pre-thank you. You don't get those every day. We'll talk to you tomorrow at their Hawks and Oilers on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.